For like forever, creating images for a brand has meant one thing, a photo shoot. But what if that entire model is being replaced by something that looks a lot more like a manufacturing line? Today, we're going to dive into a huge shift happening right now, from the classic photo shoot to the AI-powered prompt shoot. Okay, so this is the huge mental shift we're talking about. A traditional photo shoot, it's a one-and-done event. It happens on a certain day, you get the shots you get, and that's pretty much it. A prompt shoot pipeline, though, that's a manufacturing line for your creative assets. It's a system you can just switch on whenever you need it. And that's not just a tiny change, right? It's a whole new ballgame, a completely different way of producing. So you might be asking, why is this change happening now? Well, it really comes down to this. For any modern e-commerce brand, the old model has become a massive bottleneck. It just can't keep up with the speed the market demands today. And we've all felt this pain in some way, right? It's what I call the calendar problem. You're trying to book studios, line up talent, ship physical products all over the place. Then you've got to coordinate makeup artists, stylists, photographers, all while basically crossing your fingers and hoping the vibe and the lighting somehow match your last campaign. It is an absolute logistical nightmare. And this right here is the heart of the problem. Today's challenge isn't just about getting a few gorgeous hero images. It's about churning out a constant, non-stop stream of beautiful and, this is the key, consistent images for every new product drop, every new colorway, every single social media campaign. You're fighting a war on two fronts, volume and speed. Now, when you hear AI image generation, I know where your mind probably goes. You're thinking of just typing some funny phrase into a tool. But a professional prompt shoot, oh, it's so much more than that. So let's get really clear on what this isn't. This quote from the source material just says it all perfectly. You've got to erase that idea from your brain. This is not about typing a model wearing a nice dress on a beach and just hoping for the best. That is a surefire way to get inconsistent, off-brand, and let's be honest, totally unusable content if you're a serious business. Okay, so if it's not just some magic prompt, then what is it? Well, you need to think of a prompt shoot as a totally new production discipline. It's all about taking that messy creative process and building it into a structured, repeatable, industrial strength system. And this definition, you guys, is so important. A prompt shoot is a controlled workflow. Just listen to those keywords: repeatable, on-brand, and at scale. The whole point is to remove the randomness. You're not trying to get lucky. You're building a reliable engine that cranks out exactly what your brand needs every single time. Let's put a finer point on this. It's a controlled workflow, not a random generator. You lock in your model's identities so you're not getting a different face in every shot. The creative direction is repeatable, not some creative gamble. And this is absolutely crucial. There is a quality assurance step. You are never just using the raw output from the AI. Okay, so how does this whole machine actually work? What does this pipeline look like when you're in the trenches making it happen? It boils down to a pretty clear four-step process. First, you define your creative spec. Think of it like a traditional shoot deck. Second, you lock in that model's identity and you control the poses you want. Third, you generate the images, and then, and this is so important, you refine and in-paint to fix all the little mistakes. And finally, you run a proper QA check and export the assets. It's a real process. Now, here's the part that I think is really, really smart. It's honest about the technology. Look, AI gets stuff wrong. We all know that. It makes weird artifacts, goofy mistakes. A professional prompt shoot doesn't try to hide that. In fact, it builds a process that expects those flaws and is designed specifically to catch and correct them. And we're not talking about abstract problems here. Take something like lingerie imagery. The AI might totally mess up the fine details. You'll see things like the lace pattern kind of melting into the model's skin, or straps that are completely asymmetrical. Maybe the mesh fabric just doesn't look real. And oh my gosh, don't even get me started on AI hands and fingers. That refine and in-paint stage is where a real human artist has to jump in and meticulously fix all of that. And this quote, man, this just nails it. What takes an image from feeling like a generic, cheap AI image to something that looks like a premium editorial campaign photo? It's control. More specifically, it's having the discipline to enforce your brand's unique lighting style on every single image that comes out of that pipeline. That's the secret sauce. Okay, so that's the how, but what about the so what? Why is this such a big deal? Because this isn't just a cool new tool, it's a strategic game changer. It creates a real competitive advantage, a moat, if you will, around your brand's identity. I mean, the difference here is just night and day. A traditional shoot can take weeks to plan and pull off. A prompt shoot pipeline can deliver finished assets in a matter of hours. The number of shots you get from a studio day is finite. A pipeline, it can scale up or down on demand. You're literally changing from a really expensive one-time event to a super efficient, repeatable process. And I really want to be crystal clear on this. The end goal here isn't just to get cheap images. The real, true strategic unlock is slashing your creative cycle time. It's the power to produce a massive volume of perfectly on-brand content, but without all the chaos, the cost, and the headaches of the old way. So, with all this incredible potential, where do brands totally screw it up? When they start dipping their toes into AI, what's the number one mistake, the biggest pitfall to avoid? It's this simple. The biggest mistake is treating AI like a slot machine, just pulling the lever over and over, hoping for a random lucky win. Think about it. If every image has a different model, different lighting, a totally different vibe, you're not building a brand. You're just creating a bunch of noise. And here's why that matters so much. At the end of the day, it's consistency that drives real value. A consistent visual identity builds trust. It tells your customer that you're a professional, reliable brand. When they see that familiar face, that familiar style, it creates a connection. It's what makes them feel comfortable coming back again and again. So, I'll leave you with this one last question to think about for your own brand. Is your visual identity something you create during a rare, expensive, high-stress event? Or is it a controllable, scalable asset that you can use whenever and wherever you need it? The way you answer that question is probably going to define your future.